Hi there, and welcome to Graham's Guide Friday Live, this Friday, the 21st of May. Today I just want to go through planning and structure for your final essay. So let's get straight into it. I just need to press a button to bring up the correct screen. There we go. So as usual, make sure that you're on a large screen to watch this because I am going through the website, so you won't be able to see the website very well on your mobile phone, but much better on a big desktop monitor. Okay. Alright, so let's just go through to the assignment brief. Assignments. Scroll down here to reflective essay. Now, what I'm going to show you here is one way of approaching this essay. There are many ways. There's no necessarily right way. There's many correct ways. That's probably another better way to put it. Many correct ways of approaching this essay. I'm just going to show you one basic method that I think sort of responds to Tanya's videos. It's really important that you watch Tanya's videos on how to approach this essay. And what I'm about to show you is my sort of interpretation of that. And Tanya's suggestions are just that, as suggestions as well. These are ways that you can approach the essay. If you've already done your essay and what you're about to see looks completely different to what you've done, that's not a problem, because what you've done, provided you're responding to the assessment criteria, I'm sure you'll be fine. In fact, from what I've seen of everyone's work, I feel that we're on the right track. So this is just for anybody who's really stuck and just wants to see some sort of basic planning and structure to complete the final essay. Alrighty, so you'll read through the assignment overview to give you an idea of what's expected of you. And then more importantly, the assignment details. Now, I've moved these assignment details. I've changed them a little bit and put them over here. You can see them above me. So this topic is the first line here. And I've rewritten that as a personal statement. So this is the topic of the essay. It's a personal reflection that examines how I have developed my knowledge and skills in learning and communicating through my studies in this unit. So while I'm writing my essay, I want to keep referring back to the topic to make sure that I'm staying on topic. These three questions here, I think they probably could have been numbered a bit better, because I'm watching Tanya's videos. These are split up a little bit differently, and I've split them up over here on the left into three sections: success profiling, unit and course goals, and future benefit. These are three areas that Tanya suggested that you could break your essay into. So the first section, success profiling, could be 1 or 2 paragraphs based on these first two questions. So you could split your first paragraph up on this first question and the second paragraph on this second question. And that's for section 1, success profiling. These two areas need to be covered in section 1. The unit and course goals are here in question 3. But here, this is split into 2 areas in Tanya's video. The 2 areas are this first bit here that focuses on the unit and course goals themselves, and then this second bit that discusses your progress towards your goals and the future benefit of achieving these goals. So that's how I've split it up here above me. Let's have a look at where you can find some information on these 3 areas. So I'm just going to go to the week 3 activity. So that was the week 3 activity. I'm showing you how I got there. I clicked on modules and then came down here to week 3, success profiling. And this is what you would have done back in week 3, but we're asking you to return to that, and if you lost your notes from week 3, well, you can just imagine what your responses to these would have been. So you can choose one of, there's time management, academic self-efficacy, or learning and communicating. I'm just going to pick one of these. One of these that I felt connection to was, have I thought about how I will integrate time for study in my weekly schedule? Well, yes, I've thought about how I'm going to integrate it. I haven't actually done anything. This is imagining back when I was doing my studies. So maybe back at your week 3, when you looked at this, you thought, yeah, well, I thought about how to schedule my studies, but I haven't done anything. Well, maybe now, here in week 10, you do schedule time for your studies much better than you did back in week 3. So that's something that you can talk about, and some theory that you might use to support that discussion, because you need to support your discussion with theory. It could be metacognition. The Dr. Chu series of videos, and Livingston. There's a reading by Livingston, and they talk about metacognition. This is learning how to learn, and we've talked about this many times, so I won't go into the detail right now. But those are 2 theories that might use to support your discussion on success profiling, if you happen to choose to write about this. So don't attempt to write about all of these 3 things. Don't attempt to write about time management, academic self-efficacy, and learning and communicating. Choose the one that you feel the best connection to and write about that one. Alrighty, so the next section is unit and course goals. That was covered in week 1. But in week 9, in my week 9 post, I provided a whole lot of sample unit goals and sample course goals. And the reason why I posted this is because I wanted to provide you with some inspiration for how you might connect these goals to literature. So if you were looking at these, I put them into 2 areas. So in unit goals, they were more like communication theory related, and the course goals were more learning theory related. So you'll see here that the literature that I'm suggesting you might support your discussion with, this literature is communication connected, and that's for the unit goals. If you're talking about communication, and if in your course goals you're talking about learning theory, well then this is some literature that might support your discussion on learning theory. Okay, so let's move on to the last bit, which is future benefit. And this is where you might like to refer to the future work skills reading, because in the future work skills reading, there are these 10 future work skills that report suggests will be a future benefit. Any of these skills will be a future benefit. So this seems a good opportunity to support any discussion here with the future work skills reading. And when we're talking about improving communication, well, we've done a lot of virtual collaboration, and virtual collaboration is one of these future work skills. So you might see that what you've learned here, how to virtually collaborate, and that's through our discussion boards, through our collaborate sessions. This might be something you want to talk about at this point. Another one is social intelligence. So that's knowing better how to communicate with others. But this is also kind of related to metacognition, because metacognition is knowing yourself better. And social intelligence is using that knowledge of yourself to better communicate with others. So, I can see some strategic alignment is possible here in this final essay. And there's a good on social constructivism. There's a good link that I'll send this out to everybody. It's if you want to talk about learning theory in relation to any of your success profiling or any of these things. Social constructivism is something that we've done in the discussion boards, and I'll post a link to this there. Okay, just quickly, I want to talk about the actual planning. This is a planner that I created to help me plan with my essays. So here I put the 3 questions from the, let me get rid of this back bit. I put the 3 questions here from the assignment brief because I want to be referring to those. But I've also taken this topic here, the topic from the assignment brief, and I've popped it here in the topic of this introduction. So this is not your actual essay. This is just essay planning. So I've put the topic here so I know what I'm talking about. The context and the background. Well, this is just a context and background that I made up. I actually used to be a ward clerk in a hospital. So I just said here, this might be as part of my introduction. I'm currently working as a ward clerk in a hospital. However, I've always dreamed of being a teacher. So here I am working toward a career change. In this personal reflection, I will discuss the following 3 areas of my continuing journey from ward clerk to educator. Now, can you see how that provides some context to your personal reflection? Lets the reader know, where you're coming from and where you're headed to. And then you go in and you mention the 3 topics that you're going to cover, success profiling, unit and course goals, and what future benefit there is. There's a thing called a thesis statement. You can look up thesis statement online. A thesis statement is a statement that states what what you've learned, or your claim. So you've gone through this process, and now you've got to make a claim about it. This is my claim, based upon my reflection of these 3 subtopics. I believe I have experienced both personal and professional growth as a direct result of both my new knowledge and my developing skills. That's my claim, and now I'm going to write paragraphs to support my claim, to support my thesis statement. And if we move down to, in this essay planner, to the next bit, well, I've broken this up into the paragraphs that are here. So this first paragraph will be about academic self-efficacy. The second paragraph will be about the planning for study, but in this particular case, we're talking about the theory behind it. So with academic self-efficacy and planning to study, well, learning how to learn, I felt that was connected to Chew and Livingston. So I popped in here as a note to myself that sources I might like to use here are Chew and Livingston. And then I can elaborate on them further in the second bit of this section, in the second paragraph, where I really need to talk about the theory and how I've applied it to improve my academic self-efficacy. So moving on to section 2, the unit goals and course goals, there's 2 more paragraphs. So these 2 paragraphs, I'm going to break up into unit goals for the first one and course goals for the second one. Here I'm going to talk about one of my course goals, one of my unit goals is developing my communication. So the theories that I felt that I could use to support this discussion on developing my communication was Karen Keir and Jeffrey Einen. So I popped those in here as sources to remind myself that these are the sources I want to use. And Karen Keir, she talks about issues with online collaboration, and Jeffrey Einen talks about computer-supported collaboration. So these are this is literature that we have provided in this unit that you can use to support your discussion on this unit goal, developing communication. The second unit goal the second goal is the course goal, and this one is my course goal is developing my learning skills. And developing my learning skills includes, here we are, social constructivism, talking about social constructivism. And the Berkeley reading that I'm going to post a link to is a really good article about social constructivism, and I can use that to support my discussion on this course goal, which is developing my learning skills. Now, developing my learning skills, this is sort of still related to metacognition in a way, because, metacognition is learning how to learn, but social constructivism is the next step. It's actually doing that. It's working with others to construct knowledge and help me learn how to learn. And another source I thought might be useful is Vardy. Vardy talks about academic skills and developing academic skills. So the last two sections are future benefit. And the future benefit I found from these first two sections, well, I believe I will have improved my virtual collaboration, and I can use virtual collaboration moving forward in my career or in my personal life. I'm always going to be needing to collaborate virtually, given the way that technology is used these days. And virtual collaboration, well, the source I want to reference there is the Future Work Skills reading by Davies, Fiedler, and Gorbis. Another future benefit for me from this reading is social intelligence, understanding about having social intelligence when communicating with others. So this is another skill that I think will be of a great future work skill for me, social intelligence, and I can carry that forward. Now, when I've thought about this literature, at the same time I've gone into the literature, and I've copied and pasted this into my reference list while I've been planning this essay. So in my essay planning, if you come down here to where I've got a draft reference list, I popped all my references in here, so these are all ready to go for when I'm actually writing my essay. I've got them here, and they'll need to be formatted correctly for either APA or Harvard style. But this essay planner is very useful for planning your essay, working out what supporting evidence you're going to use, and what you're actually going to be writing about these three subtopics. So I hope that's been useful to you. If you've got any questions, of course, ask them in the discussion boards. The assignment 3 question and answer Q&A discussion is there waiting for you to ask questions of your colleagues and of me to help you get over this final hurdle, the assignment 3 reflective essay. And that's all I wanted to talk about today. Probably too much information. Just if you need to, you can pause this video, of course, and rewatch it. If there's anything there that you want more clarification of, ask it in the discussion boards, and I'll be happy to join you there. Great. That's all from me for today, for this Friday Live, and it's bye for now.